Each and every one of you are my family to the whole. I need each and every one of you to step up in whatever supporting capacity you have and fill the family with abundance of love, respect, and effort. I expect it, and I won't expect and take anything less than that. I love each and every one of you. Each and every one of you are a beautiful, unique woman. They provide my life with so much more than you could ever imagine. Right now is the time.
You are looking live at Atlanta, Georgia, site of LFL Football Night. Hello, fans. Welcome inside the booth of LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. A little bit later, Desi Mitchison on our sidelines. Bobby, here we are, an interconference matchup. We don't see a lot of these. It's the Atlanta Steam hosting the Los Angeles Temptation, a pair of power teams. But the big storyline out of this one is 35. What does that mean? That is the point differential between Los Angeles and Dallas. LA has to win, not only win tonight, but they've got to win by 35 points.
That is going to be a very tough task because Atlanta's roster from top to bottom is one of the strongest in the LFL in 2016.
Oh, they definitely are now, but let's get back to that 35 points. That is a lot of points. How does LA get to that point?
Well, they got to create a lot of 4 and outs. Collapse the pocket on quarterback Dakota Hughes. Come from the edge, keep her in the pocket, force her to throw the ball up, maybe get some turnovers that way. But on offense, they're starting Jane Caldwell at quarterback. Kind of a rink-and-dink passer. She can't throw it deep, as well as Kara Patterson, the backup. I really think to score that many points, Patterson has to get in the game because they have one of the #1 deep threats in the LFL, Cynthia Schmidt. She can cut the top off of any coverage. To score that many points and cover by 35, they need deep balls all night.
Now, to get to that 35 points, we met with offensive coordinator Jeff Loudon of the Los Angeles Temptation, and we said, is he willing to open up this offense? He said, absolutely. So perhaps that's what we're looking at tonight. Kiara Patterson to Cynthia Schmidt. We will see. On the other side of the ball, you've got the Atlanta Steam. Here's a team fully in the driver's seat of their season, coming in 1-0. And for a closer look at the Steam, we go down to the field with Desi Mitchison.
Thanks, Mitchell. Atlanta realizes they need to win this game. If they win, they'll be guaranteed a playoff run. More importantly, they realize they're facing a desperate Los Angeles team that not only needs to win, but do so by 35 points or more. Head coach Dane Robinson understands this and plans to rely on his triplets, young gun quarterback Dakota Hughes, wide receiver Lauren Ziegler, and defensive captain Adrian Purnell. Forget about a desperate Los Angeles team and focus on what put Atlanta in the driver's seat for the Eastern Conference. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Desi. It is a marquee interconference matchup. The legendary Los Angeles Temptation battling the Eastern Conference powerhouse Atlanta Steam. Say it with me, America. Kickoff is next. Back to LFL Football Night in Atlanta, Georgia. Before we get underway, let's go down to the field with Desi Mitchison.
Thanks, guys. Moments away before kickoff, and I'm with Dakota Hughes. Dakota, it's a great opportunity for this team to dispel any problems that people say that you can't beat a good team like LA. Do you feel this team has something to prove?
We have everything to prove. We have everything to prove to ourselves. We just want to come out here and show everybody that we are an elite team, and we just have yet to prove it on the field, and tonight is the night that we're going to do so.
Time to show them in the first. Good luck. Back to you guys.
There is a cloud over Atlanta and head coach Dane Robinson. They have a good football team, great athletes, but they have not beaten a good team yet.
They'll have their opportunity tonight. That is Monique Gaxiola. Nice high kick, fielded by Jessie Locklear. Great return, almost out to midfield. Lily Granston on the tackle.
That's how you return a kickoff. You find a hole, you go north-south. She gets the ball to midfield.
We're going to get an early look at Dakota Hughes in this talented Atlanta offense. You can see the numbers on Hughes, the #1 rated quarterback in the league.
16 out of 21. That's only after one game, but she has all the skills to be the #1 quarterback in the league.
Hughes often vying for the #1 quarterback status alongside KK Matheny of Seattle. This is a first down play. It will stay on the ground. Amanda Ruler, the replacement running back, subbing in for Brittany Demery as we meet the starters for Atlanta.
Jessie Locklear, wide receiver.
Lauren Ziegler, wide receiver.
Ariana Barton, your tight end.
Adrian Purnell, your tight end.
Dina Wajowski, your center.
Amanda Ruler, your running back.
Dakota Hughes, quarterback.
Running back Amanda Ruler really looking forward to this football game, playing against her former teammates in Los Angeles. She needs a big game tonight.
Ruler down on the ground after being clotheslined by former teammate Monique Gaxiola. And Ruler feeling it getting up.
False start. 3 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Things getting worse for Atlanta. That was head referee Gregory Edwards. An apparent false start on Atlanta. And you could see the Atlanta medical staff tending to Amanda Ruler. The third running back on the depth chart is Jessie Locklear. She'll get some looks tonight if Ruler does not return. That pass incomplete, nearly intercepted by Lily Granston. An ill-advised pass early by Dakota Hughes.
Not a good selection by Hughes at all, but you're mentioning it. The running back situation for Atlanta, very unstable. They're down to their third string running back. They have to help out quarterback Dakota Hughes with some kind of running game.
The starter, Brittany Demery, not cleared for this game at running back due to showing up out of shape. They hope to have her back in the game against Chicago. That is the regular season finale. Another bad pass, and again, Lily Granston breaking it up.
A shaky start by quarterback Dakota Hughes, her second bad pass in a row.
Let's meet the starters for Los Angeles.
Megan Hansen, D-end.
Lily Granston, strong safety.
Monique Gaxiola, middle linebacker.
Delaney Hall, safety.
Suzanne Mapes,
Corner. Agam Chichindu, lockdown corner.
Kiana Takarangi, defensive end.
LA safeties, Granson and Hall have to play big tonight against Hughes.
A low snap from Dina Wojciechowski on 4th and 6. That's Dakota Hughes going to the end zone. And again, Lily Granston, as the kids would say, absolutely balling tonight.
She came out on fire, but they're trying to go deep to Lauren Ziegler. She has the potential to get on top of Granston. They mentioned they're going to try that, but 4th down, it did not work.
There's a look at Jane Caldwell's numbers. Somewhat respectable. A lot of people calling for Kiera Patterson, the backup, to be starting. We've got a lot of penalty flags early in this game. This looks to be perhaps on Los Angeles, a false start. We'll get confirmation from Gregory Edwards.
False start. 15 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Backing up this offense 5 yards, an early hole for Los Angeles as we meet the starters for the Temptation.
Kiera Patterson, wide receiver.
Cynthia Schmidt, wide receiver.
Sherry Awaga, tight end.
Quincy Hewitt, tight end. Megan Hansen, center.
Naz Johnson, running back.
Jane Caldwell, the quarterback.
The heat is on quarterback Jane Caldwell. She not only has to win, she has to win by over 35 points.
That is a quick screen to the aforementioned Kiera Patterson. That'll be good enough for 5 yards, picking up basically the penalty yardage. There's a look at Patterson. Bobby, we talked about her arm. Apparently, they like her at the wide receiver position as well.
She likes that position also. She prefers that over quarterback. She is such a great athlete, but she has such a great arm. They want her at quarterback also.
That is Naz Johnson, the former Atlanta Steam running back, picking up 9 yards.
There is no love lost between Johnson and her former teammates here in Atlanta.
Speaking of Atlanta, let's meet their defensive starters.
Keon Harrison, defensive back.
Alfie Gore, defensive back. Adrian Purnell, strong safety.
Lauren Ziegler, free safety.
Dina Wojciechowski, your middle linebacker.
Ariana Barton, defensive end.
Pia Perry, defensive end.
That defense is led by middle linebacker, the stalwart, Dina Wojciechowski.
A 3rd and 1 handoff. That is to the receiver, Cynthia Schmidt. And Schmidt may have lost the ball. You can see a bit of a scrum there with Quincy Hewitt, Lauren Ziegler. And that looks to be Keon Harrison or Alfie Gore. Lauren Ziegler coming up with it. They're going to call her down.
I want to see this one again. What a hit by Keon Harrison. Watch this hit. Bam!
And you could see the football coming loose, but was the knee down? Apparently not enough to overturn it. This will be interesting if Atlanta decides to challenge. That's head coach Dane Robinson considering it. That's about as close as you're going to get to a challenge.
In this game, this type of game, I would challenge it. That was very, very close.
A 1st and 10 play, Caldwell taking off with it, showing some of that running ability. We didn't mention it in the pregame show. However, Caldwell was the starting fullback for Atlanta. Taking a vicious hit. We've got Caldwell mic'd up. Listen in.
Heather Hudson, a great pickup from Baltimore. Great free agent acquisition by Dane Robinson with a big hit on Caldwell.
Heather Hudson, a journeywoman, having played for several LFL teams, signed late here by Atlanta. A 2nd and 8 play for Caldwell, dropping back to pass, the pressure off the edge. A great completion to Megan Hansen, the center. The former Seattle Mist All-Fantasy center making an impact in Los Angeles.
Great pass by Jane Caldwell. She looked deep. She looked over the middle. The safeties had that covered. She looked underneath, which is what she usually does. She found Megan Hansen. She was covered, but a solid pass by Caldwell.
Hansen, the only knock against her. She showed up out of shape several seasons in Seattle. Now committed here in Los Angeles. Caldwell back in the shotgun. Naz Johnson flanked to her left. The handoff does go to Johnson. Look at Johnson finding a crease. A little more motivation from number 20. Playing against her former team, having a little fun. That will bring us to a media timeout here in Atlanta, Georgia. We are tied up at 0-0.
Like your favorite LFL players and teams and receive breaking news stories. The LFL's official Facebook page, facebook.com/MyLFL.
Back to LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. Before we went to break, there was a penalty.
There's no flag for 4 in the box. The defensive back was out of the box before the snap. The result of the play, first down.
They've picked up the flag that was on Atlanta. It'll be 1st and goal, Los Angeles.
It's a god red zone. Lock black. That. It's the red zone. You know what the you want in the red zone? That's bullshit.
Coach Dane Robinson is hot right now. He's got a good point. In the red zone, you are allowed to stack the box. You can put the people right up 1 yard away from the line of scrimmage. He has a great point.
A direct snap to Naz Johnson, not fooling that Atlanta defense. Brianna Brown from the DN position, and Dina Wojcicki. That is the size that Atlanta presents up front.
They have a great defensive line. Coach Robinson mentioned, though, knowing that LA has to beat him by over 35 points, he has the safeties playing way deep, but they're not attempting to go deep, so he's bringing them up to stop the run.
Now a 2nd and goal for Los Angeles. And you can see that front 4 of Atlanta just waiting to get after Caldwell. They are not going to get their chance. That is Caldwell getting to the edge. And that is our first score of the night. Jane Caldwell having an impact.
Jane Caldwell, she should wear a license plate on her back instead of that number. Watch her get around the corner. Watch the block up front by Kiera Patterson. This is a quarterback just leveling the defensive end, open the whole side for Caldwell. Good start for LA.
You know, that's something that we really haven't talked about in the controversy between Caldwell and Patterson. The two have been very supportive of one another. You haven't seen Patterson really complain publicly, at least, and Caldwell has played her role.
You're 100% right. I interviewed Patterson. She is content being the wide receiver. She likes playing quarterback, but she likes wide receiver even more.
That was a poor snap, and we may have another penalty on the extra point.
Prior to the snap, false start, 11 offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
In a big game like this, a lot of nerves early, leading to a lot of penalties. That'll back Los Angeles up. Quincy Hewitt called for the false start.
On both sides of the ball, really shaky start with a lot of penalties. But right now, if I'm LA, you got to go for 2. You got to win this game by over 35.
After the penalty, it will remain a 1-point attempt. Ball backed up at the 6-yard line. If you're not familiar with the LFL, from the 1, it's a 1-point attempt. From the 3, it's a 2-point attempt. LA did elect for a 1-point conversion. And Naz Johnson not getting anywhere.
What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Just chill out.
What's up?
This is play.
Teammates Adrian Purnell and Naz Johnson getting into it. As we said earlier, Johnson played for the Atlanta Steam last season. She mentioned to us in the pregame, she's looking forward to this one.
Naz Johnson, she really wants this one bad. Adrian Purnell, when I interviewed her this week, she hates the entire LA roster. She's going after some heads tonight.
There's definitely been a bit of cross-hate going on. You've got Amanda Ruler, who played with Los Angeles last year, knocked out of this game early in the first. And then we've talked about Naz Johnson and Jane Caldwell, formerly with the Atlanta Steam. Not a lot of love lost as Atlanta now takes over again. 1st and 10 handoff. That is to Jessie Locklear. As we mentioned, Locklear is the 3rd running back on the depth chart.
When you have your 3rd string running back in there, you need everything, all the cogs to be working all in order. And there you have bad snap by Dina Wojciechowski. Hughes had to go down for it. That's not good for a 3rd string running back to wait for the football like that.
That is head coach Dane Robinson and defensive coordinator not happy with his defensive effort early in the first quarter. Now Dakota Hughes under center, handing off again to Locklear. Look at the LA defense just converge to the ball. Mainly Lily Granston. Granston's looking like a Hall of Famer in this first quarter.
This first quarter, she looks sensational, but that was the veteran, the Hall of Famer, Monique Gaxiola, who stopped that play by grabbing the jersey of Locklear, pulling her, and then Granston came in and knocked her down.
Granston, known as kind of a dirty player, tends to go very high. You could see tearing off the helmet of Jessie Locklear.
The only safety I've ever seen in the history of the LFL that hits like that is Hall of Fame safety Liz Gorman.
I knew you were going to go there, Bob. That is an over-the-middle pass to Locklear. For some reason, they've fallen in love with number 5, and she's not been able to get it done on this series.
She was open. A good pass by Dakota Hughes, right on the money. For some reason, it went right through Locklear's hands.
I'm surprised they're not factoring in number 14 more. You could see her there in your screen. Lauren Ziegler. Her and Adrian Purnell have really been their true offensive weapons.
Quarterback Hughes is not on target tonight. Again, this is against an elite team. She's never played that many elite teams, and when she does, she hasn't played that well.
Bite your tongue, Bobby Huco. That is a 15-yard completion to Lauren Ziegler.
That is exactly what Dakota Hughes needed. Lauren Ziegler, one-on-one against Lily Granston on the outside, a deep stop route. Hughes put it right on the money, and they are fired up. Watch this, right on the sideline. She throws it so Granston cannot touch the football because Ziegler got her body between the defender and the ball. Great catch by Ziegler.
A lot of chemistry between those two. In fact, they'll tell you they are best friends off the field. And on the field, they work out intensely in the offseason. That's a handoff. That looked to be Jessie Locklear again, gaining 4 yards. Locklear's going to get a lot of touches tonight.
She would have never called this one. She is the workhorse right now at the running back position. She came in all fired up to catch passes at wide receiver from Dakota Hughes. Now she is the workhorse running back.
That front line is also a little different, missing Coco Montgomery, also out due to a physical condition. Expected back for the game against Chicago, much like Brittany Demery. Hughes back to pass on a 2nd and 6 and takes a big hit from Scary Sherry Awaga, the West Hills, California native. That'll be the end of the first quarter, a tough defensive battle. Los Angeles up 6-0.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
Hey, defense, we did some good things out there, all right? They just, hey, if they're going to score like that, they're going to have to drive, all right? No big plays or anything like that. They got to drive and drive and drive, and we got to bend but don't break. But there was positive things out there here, all right? I can deal with the physical mistakes. We'll get those corrected, all right?
A mic'd up Dane Robinson as we bring you back to second quarter action. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco and Desi Mitchison.
That was Dane Robinson's defensive plan. Keep the ball underneath. Don't let him go deep to Cynthia Schmidt, and it's working so far.
From the shotgun, Dakota Hughes, big pressure. Nearly decapitated by Kiana Takarangi and Sherry Awaga.
Coach Tui Suinoa, that's what he wanted to do. He wants to blitz Hughes, come with the heat, and right there, an awesome hit to start the second quarter. That's the defense Tui wants.
Dakota Hughes taking hits like that, you've got to worry. She's not one of the larger frame quarterbacks like Jane Caldwell. Those are going to add up.
They add up, but she reminds me a lot like Tom Brady in the NFL. Brady takes a lot of hits. He has a small stature. He's skinny, kind of like Hughes, but she stays in there.
A 4th and 7 completion. I'm not sure she got to the sticks. That was complete to Jessie Locklear. They needed 7. They apparently got 5.
Mapes and Gaxiola, they closed real quick, and they stopped her short. Great hit by Monique Gaxiola, the Hall of Famer.
Give credit to this Los Angeles defense. That Atlanta offense is a tough one. And they've held them to 0 points here through 1 quarter of football, and we're actually into the second. That is Jane Caldwell rolling right, getting to the outside. That'll be good enough for 7 yards. That is a bit of that bitterness you talked about, Bobby. Jane Caldwell playing for Atlanta. A lot of her former teammates not happy with her going to Los Angeles.
You really have to like the moxie on this Australian quarterback. She is not taking any trash from this trash-talking Atlanta team.
A 2nd and 3 now for Los Angeles as we near the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. A 2nd and 3 for this offense. A lot of time back there, and they're going to get a delay of game. Perhaps it's the crowd noise, but that front line cannot hear Caldwell.
Delay of game. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
You're 100% right. This crowd here at the factory is totally disrupting quarterback Jane Caldwell.
Los Angeles now backed up 5 yards. Back to their own 14-yard line. Caldwell back to pass, looking down the field, now checking down. Pass complete to Naz Johnson. She'll only gain a yard. That's Dina Wojcicki.
She is a trench warmer. Watch her close. She lets Johnson catch the ball, but not even a second later just downs her for a short gain.
Dina Wojcicki, one of the true veterans on this roster. And you kind of got a feeling there that she, as to your point, Bobby, let Naz Johnson catch it so she could just punish her.
Absolutely. Keep everything underneath. Let him catch the football, but don't let him go anywhere.
3rd and 7 now. Ball at the 15-yard line. Another screen, this time to Kiera Patterson, nearly running out of her shorts. That was a 5-yard completion, setting up a 4th and 2.
A quick smoke screen to Patterson. Get the ball in her hands as quick as possible. Let her do the rest. This goes right along with the Caldwell dink and dunk offense.
Now a 4th and 2. Inside handoff, Sherry Awaga. That is a key 4th down pickup. A lot of jawing back and forth. That'll be enough for it. Los Angeles 1st down.
Sherry Awaga in beast mode right now. Give her the ball on that Y under, and she almost took that to the house. Dane Robinson not happy with his defense.
They are just being manhandled up front. Really impressed by the effort of Sherry Awaga on both sides of the field.
That front line of L.A., they are strong. Hanson, Awaga, and Hewitt.
5-yard penalty, 1st down.
You could see a frustrated Dina Wojcicki.
The penalty, ref? What's the penalty?
The penalty, Coach Robinson, is 4 people in the box. That is something Atlanta's done all season, and these ref crews are aware of it, and they're calling it tonight. A 1st and 10 for Caldwell. In the shotgun, rolling right, looking down the field, nobody open, trying to get past Pia Perry and Dina Wojcicki. Not going to get much. That is maybe a yard on the play.
I love the way Caldwell plays smash mouth quarterback football. Pia Perry had her in the backfield one-on-one, and Caldwell ran right through her.
Dina Wojcicki very active with her mouth. and also tackling here in the first half.
Wojciechowski really frustrated right now with their Atlanta defense.
And we've got a false start. Kiera Patterson on a completely different playbook. She's going to be called for a false start. Los Angeles flagged a lot offensively, and Atlanta flagged a lot of defensively.
A really sloppy start for both teams.
False start. Number 1 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Head referee Gregory Edwards and his staff earning that paycheck tonight. After that 5-yard penalty, it'll set up Los Angeles for a 2nd and 14. Ball at the Atlanta 24-yard line. That is Cynthia Schmidt in motion from the shotgun. Poor handoff. And Jane Caldwell will be sacked. And I believe she lost the ball. The aforementioned Dina Wojciechowski making her presence felt.
Not a good drive by Los Angeles. They were moving earlier, but now they're making a lot of mistakes. They're taking a lot of time off the clock. And remember, they have to win this game by 35 points, and it's only 6-0 right now.
This is not an offense that's playing with the mindset of having to score 35 points. There's no urgency. There's no hurry-up offense. I almost thought they would come out with a 2-minute drill throughout the entire game.
I thought the same thing, and they have the talent to do it, but they're really conservative here in the first half.
A dangerous toss play, and if it were not for a shoelace tackle by Keon Harrison, that would have been Naz Johnson in the end zone.
Naz Johnson can fly. Watch her jump start here. She gets the ball, and boom, she's gone. Almost breaks this for 6. The way she can run, the only way Atlanta can stop her is if they substitute a medicine ball for the football.
John, hurry up! You got 30 seconds!
Coach Tui Soanoa very aware of the difficulties this offense has had getting to the line of scrimmage. A 4th and 8 play. This crowd has had such an impact on the cadence of Los Angeles.
Prior to the snap, false start, 15 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
The 8th man, it's working though, Mitch. Right now, they have Los Angeles going backwards just because of the noise they're creating. This is awesome.
This is one of the loudest atmospheres alongside Seattle in Omaha, when Omaha has something to cheer for. And here they come again. A 4th and 13, Caldwell back to pass, now taking off with it. Nowhere near the first down marker. Great open field tackle. That is Lauren Ziegler.
Just a bad decision by quarterback Caldwell. It's 4th and 13. She has the talent to run 13 yards, but there's absolutely nothing there. No chance of getting the first down. You got to throw the ball up.
A big stop by Lauren Ziegler in this Atlanta defense. As we head to a media timeout, Los Angeles up 6-0.
I want you guys to have control rush. Control rush ends. Control your rush.
Hey! Shit out of it.
Come here. Hey! Hey, Leo! Hey, ref! Hey! We got fans throwing at our team. We got fans throwing at our team.
That is a fan apparently throwing water bottles at the Los Angeles huddle. Accounting for the noise, now you're having water bottles thrown at you.
The refs they've done a great job tonight, but right now that's a bad move on their part. They should eject that fan. That could hurt somebody. It could hit somebody in the eye. I know it's water, but it's a water bottle also. That guy should be out of here right now.
That reminds me when we were in Cleveland, they also had the dog pound at the Quicken Loans Arena. They would throw dog biscuits at the away team. Now Dakota Hughes back to pass, a 1st and 10, a lot of time finding a receiver in the flat. That is complete to Adrian Purnell. We have yet to call Purnell's name offensively.
Adrian Purnell, the perennial all-fantasy player. They need to get her to football more like this on offense. She has the skills to put the ball down the field, but that was great protection up front by the offensive line, great coverage by the secondaries of LA, and a great read by Hughes coming underneath to hit Purnell.
You give a quarterback of Hughes' skill set that much time, she will pick you apart. That is a wishbone set handoff. That to Jesse Locklear, gaining 8 yards. Great second effort. She may have lost the ball. That is Suzanne Mapes on the recovery. But again, they're going to rule her down.
She was down, but this is what the LA defense has to do. To win by 35 points, you have to create turnovers, have the defense score some points. Great play, but she was down. They're going to keep the ball.
I like the strategy of Atlanta as well, trying to create a run game. Certainly they don't need the 35 points. They're just trying to retain possession and get on the scoreboard. That is a handoff to Jessie Locklear. Locklear gaining 3 yards for her size. She seems to be very durable.
You're right. A lot of people, a lot of scouts out there consider her just to be a jag, but she has a lot of talent. When I say jag, I mean just a girl. But no, she is a top athlete.
And you could see here, there's another look at Lily Granston going headhunting. And at some point, these officials have got to call a personal foul when Granston goes to the head.
You're 100% right. The officials are having a good game so far, but the last couple of plays with that fan who should have been ejected, and now with Lily Granston going to the head, that was totally a personal foul.
A 1st and 10. Dakota Hughes buying some extra time, now scrambling. A great tackle by Suzanne Mapes. Deadlifting Dakota Hughes. Hughes gaining 5 yards on the quarterback scramble.
Dakota Hughes is such a competitor. There's nothing there. She tucks it down, but she needs to get down. Going one-on-one against Mapes is going to help out nobody and just get her hurt.
And look who came in late. That was Lily Granston going high again. This time to Dakota Hughes' head.
She needs to get on the ground, get the yardage to go down because they're going to all come after her. Granston came in late for the head, but just get down.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. A great ball game if you love defensive football. Los Angeles up 6-0, but Atlanta driving.
Follow your favorite LFL players and teams and receive breaking news stories. Like the LFL's official Twitter page, twitter.com/mylfl.
The ball. I need pressure from you two. Come on. Okay? Stop running into them. Why? It's holding you up. Boom, quick move and get right to quarterback. Dude, then line up outside of her. Okay? Don't line up head up on her and try to pull the move. Line up here and then cut right in. Dip and go right to the back. You don't need to touch her.
Back for the final 2 minutes of the first half. LFL Football Night, Mitch Mortaza, Bobby Huco. And that was head coach Tui Soano of Los Angeles advising his D-line not to get engaged, namely Kiana Takarangi.
That's a great point. Do not get engaged because you meet a lot more people if you're not married.
Very smart, Bobby Huco. And that is a touchdown. Ariana Barton. A 5-yard touchdown reception from Dakota Hughes. Barton spelling for Coco Montgomery.
Watch the play action fake. Great mesh. The key to the whole thing, you have to mesh with the running back. She meshed with Locklear. Delaney Hall came up, and they were wide open in the back of the end zone. Coach Tui Soano, not a happy coach right now.
A definite blown assignment in the secondary. It looked like Suzanne Mapes was caught out of position.
But it's all in the mesh. The quarterback has to mesh with the back to make like she has the football. Great play action fake by Dakota Hughes.
Now the 1-point conversion. Handoff to Jessie Locklear. And look at Locklear work into the end zone. And with that effort, Atlanta takes the lead 7-6.
Just what the doctor ordered for Atlanta. Taking a lead over Los Angeles. And here's a team, Mitch, that has to win by 35 points. Coach Tui Soano cannot be happy right now.
Soano yelling at his defense, and you could see Suzanne Mapes not even making eye contact with Coach Soano. A 1st and 10 as Los Angeles goes back to work. Ball at the 15-yard line. Another quick screen to Patterson. Patterson cutting across the field and getting tackled into the boards by Adrian Purnell, but not before she gains 9 yards.
Great run by Patterson, but watch this form tackle by Adrian Purnell. You can't draw it up better than that. It drives her into the board. That is LFL football at its best.
A 2nd and 1 toss play. That toss going to Naz Johnson. And Johnson gaining 4 yards, more importantly, getting out of bounds. That'll preserve Los Angeles' timeouts.
Mitch, what do you think about the decision to stay with Caldwell? You need 35 points to advance to the playoffs. It's almost halftime, and you haven't threatened one time deep down the field.
I don't think that's Los Angeles' mindset. I think they're just here to win the ball game. That is Caldwell getting to the outside, wide open. We do have a flag. And Caldwell, it almost appeared that the Atlanta defense just gave up on the play when they saw the flag.
Illegal defense, number 17. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
It was an illegal defense, but watch the read. A read option, a great read by Jane Caldwell. She cuts it up inside. Mitch, I think you're right. A couple of the Atlanta players, they stopped playing when they saw the flag, which you shouldn't do.
I need points now. Your defense let you down by not playing to the god whistle.
That is what Coach Dane Robinson is saying. They heard the whistle on the penalty, or they thought they saw the flag, and I think they just gave up on the play.
You can't do that. You have to play through the flag. They did not. Great read and a great run by Caldwell.
A one-point attempt for Los Angeles. Caldwell feeling very confident. Very poor tackling by that Atlanta defense.
Pia Perry looked like she was playing touch football right there. One-on-one against Caldwell. Caldwell just blew through that attempted tackle. That was terrible.
Listen, play to the whistle, y'all. Play to the whistle. You just gave them 6 points, 7 points, all right? Play to the god whistle. You stop when you hear the whistle. I should have to explain this to this veteran group. You understand me? I told you I can deal with the physical mistakes. They're your mental mistakes just cost this team. Bullshit. You just literally on your offense.
Coach Dane Robinson talking about that previous Caldwell touchdown. To your point, Bobby, you just don't give up on that play.
He's upset because that team is a lot of veteran football players. They know to play through flags, play till the play is over. You got the player on the ground. Half the team stopped when they saw the flag and heard the whistle.
That previous play was an incomplete pass to Lauren Ziegler. Now a 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 15. Handoff. Jesse Locklear. Locklear gaining 6 yards. The clock will continue to run. This will be interesting to see if Atlanta calls a timeout. They're going to wait to see what happens on this 3rd down play.
This is usually when Dakota Hughes comes through. That's where she got her nickname her rookie year. At times like this, she always comes through.
A 3rd and 4 play has a receiver. What a catch by Lauren Ziegler. Give credit to Dakota Hughes for placement and Ziegler for the catch.
Again, one-on-one against Granson. She waits, comes across on a dagger route. Coverage is there. Just a great pass and a great catch by Ziegler.
Now Dakota Hughes electing to just kill the clock.
Hey! Listen! Hey, y'all! If I'm saying kill, sit down! Don't move!
You gotta love the moxie of number 18. This is her 3rd season, but you feel she's played for 10 years.
You're right. Her rookie year, she was so sensational. A lot of people didn't see it back then, but she won so many games with a broken hand, a broken wrist, throwing bombs. Just sensational. In her 3rd year, she wants a title now.
2nd and 10 from the 13. Poor snap by Dina Wojcicki, rolling right. Dakota Hughes finding Lauren Ziegler. Lauren Ziegler taking over the 2nd quarter.
Great play by Hughes, buying some time. She saw one-on-one coverage out there. Mo Gaxiola on Ziegler. Ziegler will win that 100% of the time. Great play by Hughes, great play by Ziegler.
And we've got a penalty here. That is a big call, Bobby. That is holding on Atlanta. That'll negate the Ziegler touchdown.
What an inopportune time for that to happen. They had a great drive, a great play by 2 of their superstars. Now they're coming backwards.
2nd and 15, ball at the LA 18-yard line. The Steam trailing this one by 6 points, and we are under a minute remaining. Atlanta has both of its timeouts. Dakota back to pass, has a receiver. Adrian Purnell, that went through the arms of number 3.
Great pass by Dakota Hughes right down the pipe between the safeties. A great throw. Just have to catch the football. It was there. It couldn't have been placed any better. Adrian Purnell is so disappointed with herself right now. Great throw by Hughes. Wow.
Hughes playing like a surgeon here late in the second quarter. We saw in the previous play with Ziegler, that was a great pass to the outside shoulder. That earlier deep crossing pattern. And then that one should have been a score to Purnell.
She started out slow, but she's on fire right now.
3rd and 15 now for Hughes. Pump fakes. A lot of time in the pocket, finding a receiver. That's Adrian Purnell. And Purnell still on her feet. All the way down to the 2-yard line. Atlanta will call a timeout.
That was not a called play. A great adjustment by Purnell. She was in the backfield protecting Hughes, and then she broke free when she saw nobody out there. Hughes saw her broke free. That's like street football.
Hey, that buzzer is going off. They're out of play. Come on. That buzzer is going off, and they're still running a play.
For half. So listen, 36 seconds. First play. Hey, where's the first play? Okay.
3 yards, ladies, 3 yards.
7, 1, bubble.
7, let's go. Right now. Hey, you gotta get rid of them too. They're gonna be coming down the goal line, all right?
Clemson. 1, bubble.
That looks to be maybe a release play coming out.
Look how close we are.
A 1st and goal for Atlanta.
They've been running the Clemson play. They're going to fake it right now. Let's see if it works.
Ball at the 2-yard line as Dakota Hughes goes under center. Looking to hand it off. No, going to fake it. Back of the end zone. That is Lauren Ziegler. And look at Dakota Hughes go after Lily Granston.
Cheap shot by Granston, lifting Ziegler off the field and slamming her.
You gotta see what's over here!
Purnell actually opened that play up by picking Granston. It opened space. Ziegler caught the ball, and then Lily said, get down, and it started at Donnybrook.
Now the extra point attempt. An opportunity for Atlanta to take the lead in this ball game for the 2nd time in the half. Ball at the 1-yard line. A mishandled snap. There's been a lot of issues between Dina Wojcicki and Dakota Hughes all night.
That shouldn't happen. That's 2 veterans. That's a basic snap. Even in a shotgun, it's not consistent. They got to work on that.
In a tight ball game like this, you cannot have something as remedial as a center to quarterback exchange.
Not at all. Again, I'm wondering if nerves sets in right now. It shouldn't. Here it is deep in the second quarter. It's a tie ball game. You have a chance to take the lead, and you fumble the snap.
A 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. We got a shot at the bench. That was Jeff Loudon, the offensive coordinator, encouraging his offense to pick up the tempo. From the shotgun, rolling right, Caldwell taking off with it again. Will gain 4 yards. LA does have a timeout. They're going to elect to call it here with a little over 23 seconds remaining.
A designed run, a quarterback rollout. She got 4 yards. They got the timeout.
23 seconds, 3 safeties, or safeties here. Play the 6. They can't get anything above us. They're going to try to go for a home run ball. Rule number 1, right? Rule number 1, all right? Hey, same thing. Play back a little bit. Hey, play back a little bit to help.
Guys, Jane, when you leave the pocket like that, it makes it harder for her to get to her block to you. Be patient in the pocket. Come on.
Doesn't Coach Tuisonoa sound like Tarzan when he says Jane?
He looks like Tarzan a little bit too, but you're right. He's got a good point, though. Jane's got to wait for her blocks, then go downfield.
A slightly heavier set Tarzan. We'll see if he gives any motivation here before the half to Jane Caldwell in this offense. That is a handoff to Kiera Patterson, and Patterson just throwing it up. That is Sherry Awaga with the reception. Perhaps the oddest play you'll see.
very ill-advised pass. She trips on her own player and just throws the ball up. A great play by Scary Sherry to catch it, but a terrible play by Patterson.
When they decide to run, tackle, tackle, tackle. None of this pushing in her face bullshit. I've taught you better.
And one more timeout here. This should be the final play of the half. We'll see if Jane Caldwell has the arm to get it down the field. A little over 13 seconds remaining. This Atlanta crowd coming to life. Caldwell going to take off with it again. Nowhere near the end zone. That should be the final play of the half.
I know she likes to run, but you got to throw the ball up. There's no way you're going to break that for a touchdown. Throw it up. Cynthia Schmidt, she hasn't caught one ball down the field yet tonight.
Now this is interesting. They stopped the clock. Now they're winding it. They're not going to get a playoff. She either went out of bounds or she didn't. You can hear the referee saying she hit the wall. They should have stopped the clock. That is just a blowing call by the officials. You don't wind the clock.
Ball, kill the ball. I don't care. Get up there.
Coach Suinoa not happy with his quarterback, but that was a blown call. Taking us into halftime, we've got a 13-13 ball game.
Why don't I even go through this and practice with you guys if you're not going to use it in the goddamn game? Get out there and get the out of these guys. I told you they weren't They haven't played anybody. Nobody.
Tensions are running high as we welcome you back inside the booth of LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. Now, Bobby, we expected a good football game, and we've got a great football game, 13-13 at halftime.
Outstanding football. We expected Atlanta to show up. They're playing at the factory, at home, their home crowd really into the game. But I'm really impressed by Los Angeles. All year long, both of us have been on quarterback Jane Caldwell. Some teammates have been on her.
Mainly you.
Well, you're right. I come down on Jane a little bit, you a little bit. But she's 5 out of 5 throwing the football, 57 yards on the ground. Just outstanding football by Caldwell.
Now, she has outshined the more marquee quarterback, Dakota Hughes. Hughes did manage some success in the first half, going 7 of 15 for a pair of scores. But for me, and for people who love defensive football, you got a bit of that in the first half as well.
No, you're right. Lily Granston having an all-fantasy season, doing it again tonight, coming from that safety position, making tackles all over the football field. And for Atlanta, the blue-collar linebacker, Dina Wojcicki, doing the same, creating havoc everywhere, Mitch. Those two, it is solid defensive football. I like the offense, you like the defense, but what a first half.
Despite Granston and Wojcicki, there was some scoring in the first half of this game. It all started with Jane Caldwell on the 7-yard touchdown run. That gave Los Angeles an early 6-0 lead. The defense is anchored down from that point in. It wasn't until 2 minutes left in the second quarter when Dakota Hughes finally got Atlanta on the board, finding Ariana Barton on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Then it was Caldwell again, this time from 20 yards out to give Los Angeles the lead. Then with seconds remaining before the half, it was Hughes finding Lauren Ziegler, the duo at work on a 2-yard touchdown pass. That brings us to our halftime score of 13-13. Let's look at the first half stats.
Both teams need to clean up the penalties and do better job on the 3rd and 4th down conversions. But overall, a very even first half. Great football. I'm looking forward to the second half.
That will do it for us here at halftime of LFL Football Night. It's Los Angeles versus Atlanta, the final 20 minutes of football. Kickoff is now. Back to third quarter action. Before we get underway, let's go down to Desi.
Thanks, guys. I'm with LA veteran Agam Chachindu. Agam, it's a tough crowd. Apparently, they're throwing bottles at your team. They're extremely loud. Is it affecting how you guys are playing at all?
I don't think so. I just think that it's a lot of pettiness. I think that it's really tacky and it's classless, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play football, and so is my team, so that we're not letting that distract us. We're going to go out there, play some smash mouth, and take everybody out one body at a time.
Good luck in the third. Back to you guys.
You gotta love Agam Chichindu, one of the meanest, toughest players in the league. She doesn't care if people are throwing water bottles at her and her teammates. She's gonna play football.
That is Naz Johnson, one of the true bright stars of the first half, back to receive. Lauren Ziegler, the 6-year veteran, will get us underway. Atlanta and Los Angeles notched up at 13 after 20 minutes of play. That looks to be a squib kick just beyond the outstretched arms of Los Angeles. Great field position for LA.
Not sure I like that squib kick. It does give them decent field position to start the second half. But you see who's at quarterback. Jane Caldwell, not Kiera Patterson, who usually starts the second half.
That is interesting considering the number of points Los Angeles needs in this ball game. They're content to just grind this out. That is Naz Johnson gaining 9 yards.
That's a big point by having Jane Caldwell in at quarterback for the second half. You see she had a solid first half, 5 out of 5. Not a whole lot of yards. She was throwing the quick screens, not throwing the ball down the field, but she got the job done at quarterback in the first half. And this shows me right here, Mitch, what you mentioned in the first half by Coach Suinoa, not changing quarterbacks. He's just going for the win. I don't think he's going to try to win by 35 with Jane Caldwell quarterback because they're not going to score that many points.
And look at the pressure from Dina Wojcicki and Adrienne Purnell. That is the dynamic duo defensively for Atlanta.
Wojcicki from the Steel City. She is as tough as steel, one of the best linebackers in the LFL. A great 1-2 combination. You see Purnell, she gets to Caldwell first, then Wojcicki finishes her off. Great play on defense for Atlanta.
That was a loss of 7 yards on that sack. Now a 3rd and 8 ball backed up to the 14 of Los Angeles. Caldwell remains in the shotgun. That is a draw play to Naz Johnson. And Johnson, with that small stature, able to just sneak her way upfield for 7 yards.
Her first step is so quick. You don't think a 3rd and 8 call you're going to call right up the middle, but her first step is so quick she almost got there. She got 7.
Now a very convertible 4th and 1 opportunity. Here comes that Atlanta crowd. Sherry Awaga in motion from the shotgun. This is a design rollout for Jane Caldwell. Great call. In the open field and into the end zone. That is the 3rd score of the night for Jane Caldwell on the ground.
Simple play, great execution. Barton went inside. They had a hook block outside. Then watch the outside block in open space by Sherry Awaga. On Lauren Ziegler, all fantasy defensive back, she pancakes her, which opens it up wide open for Caldwell to go straight down the field. She has great straight line speed in the secondary. Unbelievable. 4th and 1, a huge touchdown for LA.
Caldwell deceptively an elusive runner in the open field. When you look at her physical stature, she does not strike you as someone that's going to break away from defenders. And here she is again, another design draw play. That'll put Los Angeles up by 7, 20-13.
A great call by Jeff Loudon, the offensive coordinator. Again, inside the 10-yard line in the red zone. Nobody takes the quarterback. It's all one-on-one coverage. She went back like she's going to pass. Quarterback draw right up the middle. Nobody there.
That was a 4-play, 38-yard drive, only taking 2:24. This Los Angeles offense has been very efficient tonight.
Speaking of efficient, quarterback Dakota Hughes, 7 out of 15, but 2 touchdowns. She started slow, came on strong in the second quarter. Let's see if she can continue her ways here in the third.
This is a 1st and 10 play. Hughes electing to keep the ball and evading rushers. She'll gain 7 yards. Hughes trying to do her best. Jane Caldwell did manage some decent yardage.
Well, she might have to. Atlanta lost their number 1 and number 2 backs. They had pretty much no running game in the first half. It might come down to Hughes running the football.
Hughes in this Atlanta offense is facing a Los Angeles defense that, believe it or not, is ranked toward the bottom of the league with a 0 turnover margin and having given up 77 points. This is Dakota Hughes again, this time gaining 4 yards. That'll set up a 1st and 10 good enough to move the sticks.
Another bad snap by Dina Wojciechowski. I don't know how this keeps occurring, but it threw the whole timing of the play off. Hughes had to scoop it up, didn't have a chance to look down the field, but turned it into a first down. Great athletic play.
I do not understand, this dates back to 2015, how a center and a quarterback that have gotten as many reps as they have can continue to have those issues.
100% right. If they do have those issues, you practice and practice and practice until you get rid of them. Obviously, they haven't because we keep seeing them every time they play.
Jesse Locklear on the previous play gaining 5 yards. Quietly, Locklear having a great ball game in substitution of Amanda Ruler, who was knocked out in the first quarter. Now a 2nd and 5 play, rolling right Hughes. Big pressure from Sherry Awaga. Hughes wanting nothing to do with Scary Sherry.
A great combination coverage by the secondary, a banjo coverage. They funneled the receivers in. They pushed the wide receiver inside, picked up by Gaxiola. There was nothing there. Hughes had to throw it away.
Now explain to me what a banjo coverage is.
It's a combination zone. It looks like it's going to be a zone, but when she comes inside, the inside linebacker takes her man-to-man.
I figured it was a West Virginia Mountaineers defense.
That's a whole different kind of banjo coverage.
Fair enough. 3rd and 5. Dakota faking the handoff, finding a receiver in the flat. That is Adrian Purnell. Purnell gaining 10 yards. She came on late in the first half. Now picking up where she left off.
That's how to beat a banjo coverage. Purnell went out there. She hooked up before she got out to the cornerback, and Hughes delivered a solid strike. Watch her hook up before she gets outside the cornerback. A lot of space there. Good catch, good first down for Atlanta.
Purnell lost the ball. You could see Lauren Ziegler pick it up and walk it in. But obviously the whistle blew. It'll stay as it was called on the field. Now a 1st and goal from the 9 of Los Angeles. That's a quick slant. Lauren Ziegler. And Ziegler getting into the end zone.
That's a quarterback and a receiver on the same page. A cover 2. This isn't even a really quick post route. It's a bullet slant. You just get off the line of scrimmage and you run as fast as you can across the field and you get open because it's one-on-one with Delaney. Boom, right across there, wide open. Great delivery by Hughes, touchdown Atlanta.
What impresses me the most there, Lauren Ziegler, once she caught the ball, she took it into an entirely different gear and exploded into Delaney Hall in the end zone.
When you get that coverage, you don't even run the route. You run a bullet. As fast as you can run across the field, it's you against that corner one-on-one, and Ziegler won.
This may be the most important extra point conversion of the season, at least thus far in a 19-20 ball game. That is a handoff to Jesse Locklear. It looked like Locklear ran into Dina Wojciechowski as Los Angeles will retain a 1-point lead.
Mo Gaxiola destroyed Wojciechowski, absolutely destroyed her, pushed the play right back into the running back. That's the Hall of Famer. She is back. What a play by Mo.
That'll take us to a media timeout. We've got a 1-point ball game. Back to LFL football night. A great interconference matchup. The Los Angeles Temptation taking on the Atlanta Steam. A 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. Here's the reverse. Naz Johnson looking for an opening. Great open field cuts. Johnson gaining 10 yards. A great start out of the break.
I love that call by Jeff Loden, the offensive coordinator. A reverse to Naz Johnson, who's got blazing speed, great moves, and she followed the blocks of Sherry Awaga. Great opening call on first down.
Los Angeles continues to move the sticks in this game. A 1st and 10 at midfield. And give credit to Jane Caldwell. Really mastering this offense tonight. Caldwell back to pass, looking down the field and getting lit up. That looked to be Leanne Harden, the middle linebacker.
Leanne Harden absolutely blows up the offensive line.
You could hear Jane Caldwell screaming in agony there as Leanne Harden absolutely blew her up.
Just a mismatch. Harden coming up, destroying Naz Johnson, trying to block in the backfield.
gains at midfield. That's a reverse handoff to Kia Takarangi. The Aussie transplant gaining 7 yards. Takarangi has factored big with this offense all season.
Takarangi, she obviously does not have blazing speed, but somehow every time she touches the football, they can't bring her down. She is tough to bring down.
Takarangi, a pickup alongside Quincy Hewitt from LFL Australia, and they have played a vital role up front for this offense. That's a handoff to Naz Johnson. A great open field tackle by Lauren Ziegler. That is about as textbook as it gets.
Watch her stack and shed the block and then make a form tackle on Johnson. That's why she's all fantasy.
Now a 4th and 1. This Atlanta defense has got to dig in. Trailing this one by 1 point, this crowd coming to life. Jane Caldwell and the offense has had trouble hearing all night. It will not get easier here. A 4th and 1 play. This is a design quarterback sneak. That's good enough for 3 yards and a Los Angeles first down.
If you want to beat elite teams, you have to make plays like this. 4th and 1. Dina Wojcicki, one of the best players on this Atlanta team, has the quarterback in the backfield. Would have stopped them. It would be Atlanta football, but she completely missed the tackle. LA keeps the drive going.
Now a 1st and 10. This Los Angeles offense in no hurry. And I don't think they're even thinking of those 35 points. They're just trying to win this ball game. Ball at the Atlanta 13-yard line. Again, Caldwell taking off and finding some real estate before Lauren Ziegler slams her against the wall.
It is simply amazing how Caldwell, when she runs, it looks like she's going to be easy to bring down. You can tackle her easily. And what happens? She breaks tackles, and she breaks big gainers. It's just, she's an amazing runner.
She's one of the bigger statured quarterbacks. We talked about it in the first quarter. She's listed as 5'7", 160 pounds. And the defenders for Atlanta know it. That's a handoff to Naz Johnson. Great penetration. That looked to be Heather Hudson, the free agent pickup. That is what this Atlanta defense needs.
If there's ever a time to let your quarterback check off, that is one of them. There was too many defenders for LA to block. They could have thrown a fade pattern or anything, but they ran right into Heather Hudson.
Jane Caldwell, not really a polished pocket passer. Say that twice.
Polished pocket passer.
We're at the end of the third quarter. Los Angeles up 20-19.
Get in the A-gap. Get in the A-gap. Strong back spike. Strong back spike down that way. Strong back spike.
The final 10 minutes of LFL football night. This is the game we all expected, the game we wanted. Los Angeles and Atlanta in a 1-point ball game. That is a quick screen pass, complete to Kia Takarangi, but that'll only gain about a yard.
That was a bad stalk block outside by wide receiver Cynthia Schmidt. It blew that play up for LA.
You think Adrian Purnell knows what down and distance we're in?
I think she wants this game more than anybody.
Adrian Purnell, one of the true competitors of the game. And here comes that factory crowd on 4th and 6. You could see some confusion on the LA side. And here's Caldwell, another design quarterback keeper. Lauren Ziegler digging in. That will not be enough as this Atlanta defense holds.
Keon Harrison, she came tough off the edge from that corner position.
Well done. Good job. Nice job out there. With the fill in.
Dane Robinson finally happy with that defense. A big-time stop as they trail this one 19-20. Dakota Hughes, one of the best working from behind. That was incomplete, intended for Lauren Ziegler.
That's what you do on a 3-step drop. You watch the quarterback eyes, you jump up and you block it so they can't complete that quick post.
The calm and confidence that number 18 plays with is contagious on the offensive side of the ball. Don't think anybody is worried about being down in this game when number 18 is in the ball game.
This is usually when she excels.
That's a handoff. Jessie Locklear, the unsung hero, gaining 8 yards. That'll set up a 3rd and 2.
That was Jessie Locklear's finest run of the night. She accelerated through the hole, extended the play, and gained a solid 8 yards.
That'll set up a 3rd and 2. Plenty of time remaining in this one, over 8 minutes. Atlanta does have a timeout. Another bunch set from the offense. Handoff again to Jessie Locklear, cutting inside and bulldozing Delaney Hall.
Just a great block by center Dina Wojcicki. Watch this block on Monique Gaxiola. Just turn her outside, and you get between yourself and the runner, and then Locklear reads the block and makes a big gain.
Ball all the way out to the midfield line. A 1st and 10 for Atlanta. And very coolly, very calmly, number 18 is guiding this offense down the field. Fakes the handoff. No, she'll give it again to Jessie Locklear. That is the 3rd straight carry for number 5. And frankly, I'm becoming a fan.
Mark White, the offensive coordinator. I love this play calling. Right now, they're going right up the middle. They're going right at Monique Gaxiola. We talked about her getting up there in age. They're going right at her. Here it is with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They're going at the veteran linebacker.
That is a bit surprising. Monique Gaxiola is one of the more sure tacklers on the Los Angeles side, yet they're having a lot of success right up the gut. They're going to fake it this time. Dakota Hughes finding Adrian Purnell. Lily Granston just kind of standing over Purnell. That is not something you want to do.
I really like the way they bring Purnell back in this offense. This is her 3rd catch of the evening, wide open in the secondary, in front of Granston. A good read by Hughes. A lot of people think they're going to keep going to Ziegler, but they find Purnell in the flat.
That was a 9-yard reception by Purnell. Adrian Purnell will become a target for Dakota Hughes as this ball game progresses. Dakota under center now. Quick screen. That pass complete. Great open field tackle. But that looked to be a clothesline. Look who's involved. Agam Chichindu. And this is getting out of hand.
You understand me?
The referee's trying to get in between.
I will kill you. I will kill you. I will kill you.
Even Dakota Hughes out there.
I will kill you. I will body you. I will body you. I will body you.
Los Angeles players trying to protect Agam Chichindu. Let's take another look at this tackle. Bobby, you could see she went high on Jessie Locklear, and the team took exception.
Agam Chichindu, widely known as one of the meanest and dirtiest players in the LFL.
Chichindu still going after the crowd.
They get mad. Then she tried to hit me after. Shit speaks louder than words. Don't stop them. Shake that. Right. But I made a big play and I stopped, stepped over her, and these niggas want to come out of nowhere. Put down. Oh, break your neck. What this team's about. You still got a football game. Snap her neck. This is too close.
Monique Gaxiola, team captain, trying to calm down Agam Chichindu, saying, look, we're still in a very tight ball game against a pretty good ball club.
They need this win. You're right. She is a mean football player. That's the way she plays, but you don't want a penalty to cost you the game right now.
A 2nd and 9 play. Dakota Hughes throwing across her body. Not even close. Intended to Dina Wojcicki. That'll go incomplete.
Holding. 13 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
I will snap your neck like a twig.
Agam Chichindu still going after. It looked like Adrian Purnell.
I love the way Agam plays football. She told me she was upset because she wasn't born with more middle fingers.
That's a 2nd and 14 play. Jessie Locklear is getting abused by that LA defense.
You really got to appreciate the way Locklear is playing football, though. Here's a player thought she's going to come in today and play wide receiver. She's forced to play running back, and she's playing a whale of a football game for being forced in that position.
Monique Gaxiola shedding the block of Dina Wojciechowski, making a great tackle on Jessie Locklear. Now a 3rd and 11 for Dakota Hughes. Scrambling left. Nobody open. Gonna take off for the goal line. And I'm not sure she got it.
I think she's in.
They're gonna give Dakota Hughes the touchdown.
Wow, who would have called this? All night long, we're talking about Jane Caldwell and how she runs as a quarterback. Watch the moves that Dakota Hughes does on this play. Watch this. Dropping back to pass, nothing there, comes outside. Watch this move. Boom, bam. Outside, look at his speed, dives for the pylon, touchdown. What a play by Hughes.
I think Suzanne Mapes is out of position at the corner. They need to play her inside. She has no lateral movement and somewhat out of shape.
No lateral movement. It's amazing that Hughes got that ball in the end zone. What an athletic play. I'm totally impressed.
Now the extra point attempt by Atlanta. Hughes under center, handoff to Jessie Locklear. And Locklear takes a big blow to the head, delivered by Delaney Hall and Lily Granston.
Locklear is getting tougher as the game goes on. She's getting stronger and stronger. I'm really impressed with this Atlanta front line right now. And who would have called this? This is like the rookie year for Dakota Hughes when she came back in, it seemed like every fourth quarter to win football games. Here it against LA. They've never, quote, beat an elite team. 4 minutes left. They're up 26-20.
Absolutely. You cannot give enough credit to Dakota Hughes. That was an 8-play, 44-yard drive. Took up nearly 5 minutes. That is what championship teams are made of, and Atlanta could be just that.
Los Angeles, on the other hand, they needed to win by 35. They're down 6.
If you thought this factory crowd was loud before, here they come, Jane Caldwell.
If Jane Caldwell ever wanted a chance to be a hero, this is it.
A 1st and 10 from the 15. Caldwell back to pass. Pressure up the middle. That is Leanne Harden. Harden flushed her to Adrian Purnell. A great defensive play.
This deep in the game, head coach Dane Robinson knows LA has to throw the football. They came with a safety blitz, and it worked. Leon Harden right up the middle.
Harden, a converted middle linebacker, now strong safety. They ran right at her that time. That is Naz Johnson like a pinball, gaining 14 yards.
Wow, Leanne Harden had her in the backfield. She is so quick, the spin move, which separated the hands from Harden to her jersey. A huge play by Naz Johnson.
What a clutch play by number 20. We cannot make enough of the fact that she absolutely hates this Atlanta franchise. Felt that she was underestimated her entire time with the team.
What a time for her to come up with one of her career games tonight.
A 1st and 10, a lot of confusion in the backfield. Caldwell going down again. That was a loss of 2 yards. Adrian Purnell on the sack.
They don't look smooth right now. They're moving the football only because Naz Johnson made an incredible play on the previous play.
2nd and 12 now. Ball at the Atlanta 24-yard line. You can see Adrian Purnell and that Atlanta defense wanting this crowd involved. And what a crowd here at the factory. From the shotgun, Caldwell looking down the field, has a receiver wide open and just overthrew Naz Johnson.
When you get chances like that, you have to convert. She had great protection from the line up front. Naz Johnson, her speed, beat the coverage, wide open. She put the ball out there just a little bit too far.
Now Caldwell conferring with Jeff Loudon.
Offsides, number 20 defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
That's a big call, offsides on this Atlanta defense. Atlanta being riddled with penalties tonight.
That's a huge defensive play right there. They make a great defensive play. They stop a bomb, and then they give it 5 free yards.
Now a 2nd and 8. Atlanta jumping again. Leanne Harden and Dina Wojcicki. This could be a free play. That is complete to Naz Johnson, a gain of 6.
Great play by Jane Caldwell. She used her cadence as a weapon and drew Atlanta off sides. What she should have done, she had a free play. You were right. Throw it up top. Take a shot.
That is indeed the call. Head referee Gregory Edwards asking Jane Caldwell, do you want the 6 yards or do you want the 5-yard penalty? Not a tough question unless you went to the University of Florida, Bobby.
Most Florida grads would get that question correct.
They're still debating.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
And they actually selected the wrong play.
They took the 5 yards instead of the longer play.
We need to check offensive coordinator Jeff Loughton's resume if it reads University of Florida.
That definitely sounds like he went to Florida State.
Because in my mind, 6 is always greater than 5, and that was a 6-yard completion to Naz Johnson.
I think he got a little confused there. Maybe a Seminole call.
A 2nd and 3. Ball at the 15 of Atlanta. That is a toss left play. That to Naz Johnson. You think Los Angeles knows that number 20 has an axe to grind?
She has an axe to grind, and she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder. She's got a boulder on her shoulder. I would give it to her every play now.
We are at the 2-minute warning. Atlanta with the lead. Next week on LFL Football Night, it's Dakota Hughes and this Atlanta Steam taking on Alex Drake in a struggling New England Liberty.
That's on our god. Stop. Listen. Whatever. Watch the god ball here. All right. Your defensive end let you down. We got kid edge. Contain the edge. Contain the edge. Guys, you gave them too much yardage on it, whether it was a bullshit or not. All right? You have them on their heels. Bend, but do not break. Do you understand me? This is where you need to play your strongest. You, hey, to quote you, you stop them now, you win this game.
That's a good way to welcome you back to LFL Football Night. A fired up Dane Robinson.
He is upset because they have not contained all night long. LA's had big outside plays. The cornerbacks and the defensive ends have to contain.
A 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. You could see, I don't think Los Angeles can hear because of the noise in the building.
The 8th man tonight here at the factory is incredible.
This may go against Atlanta based on Leanne Harden's reaction. Yeah, they're going to hit Atlanta once again.
Offside, defense, number 3. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
I don't think I've seen this level of undisciplined play from a frontline defense.
Coach Dane Robinson is going berserk right now. They are shooting themselves in the foot. They had this game in the bag. Now they're giving them free yardage and free plays.
That was a 5-yard penalty, taking the ball down to the 2-yard line. In a game that Atlanta barely leads by 6, that is Jane Caldwell, and another flag. All kinds of confusion on both sides of the ball in a time that they both can least afford it.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
This time on Los Angeles, that was a false start. Both coaches absolutely fuming. Certainly Los Angeles, they know what's on the line. Even if they don't win this game by 35 points, a win keeps their playoff hopes alive.
Absolutely. Right now, because of the level of the crowd, the noise in this place it's going crazy right now. You might have to go to your silent snap count so you don't jump off sides.
A 1st and goal, ball at the 7-yard line after that 5-yard false start penalty. From the shotgun, Jane Caldwell. I'm not sure she was trying to hand off to Naz Johnson. A bit of miscommunication, no gain on the play.
Great penetration by the entire defensive line of Atlanta. Number 3, Purnell, came on the edge really close to getting the ball carry, and every defensive lineman hit a gap. That's how you play defensive football.
A 2nd and goal. Still plenty of time remaining, over 1:30. Los Angeles does have both timeouts, so time not a factor, but they do trail this one 26-20. From the shotgun, Caldwell again with pressure. That is a quick slant, complete to the back of the end zone to Kia Takarangi.
I really like that play selection. They adjusted. They went to a twin set. They had Cynthia Schmidt doing an out pattern, and then inside, Takarani did a post pattern, a quick slant, one-on-one, a huge target. Great pass by Jane Caldwell. Big players make big plays in big games, and right now, Jane Caldwell is playing big.
You could see the look on Dane Robinson's face. He knows just how big that touchdown was. Now the all-important extra point in a 26-26 ball game. That is a direct snap draw play to Jane Caldwell. Caldwell has had no problems running the ball tonight. In fact, she has over 100 yards rushing as a quarterback.
I hate to say it because Wojciechowski's having a heck of a game, but again, in a key situation, sees a chance one-on-one to tackle the quarterback Caldwell and stop her short of the goal line, and she whiffed.
Dina Wojciechowski, otherwise a great ball game, had an open look at Jane Caldwell and completely missed. Now the pressure shifts back to number 18. And in case you're wondering why Dakota Hughes wears number 18, she idolizes Peyton Manning. And we've certainly seen the Sheriff deliver it many times in this position. We'll see if Dakota can do it here. Dropping back to pass, has an open lane, taking off with it again and getting out of bounds. That should stop the clock.
Still a lot of time left, and if there's an LFL quarterback right now you want to have the football with a minute left, you're down 1 point, it's Dakota Hughes. She is known for last-second heroics. This is the quarterback you want to have the ball.
It wasn't that long ago, in fact, her rookie season, playing with a broken wrist, threw a touchdown pass to win a game right here in this building in overtime.
Please reset the game clock to 104. Please reset the game clock to 104.
It did not appear that the clock started, so they're going to reset it to a minute 4. Dakota Hughes a little perplexed, not knowing that the clock never started.
He told me the clock stopped.
Have Zig switch
To what?
to the 8.
What is it?
Since you left 486.
They've reset the clock at a minute 4. Atlanta does have a timeout remaining and certainly capable of the big play.
I would not be surprised at all with a minute left. You have to go to your go-to receiver, Lauren Ziegler, one of the best in the game.
A minute 04, back to drop Hughes. Again rolling left, a little dump-off pass to Jesse Locklear. That is no gain. Monique Gaxiola on the open field tackle.
Not real sure about that throw. It might have been better to throw it away. The clock is still running right now.
Atlanta should kill the clock. Instead, it looks like they're electing to use their final timeout. That is exactly what Atlanta's going to do here.
Second and final timeout of the second half.
No more. Listen to me. They got no more timeout.
Keep them in bounds.
Keep them in bounds, guys. Stay deep. Stay deep. Stay deep. Stay deep. Stay deep. Okay? Stay deep. Control rush. Once you see that it's clear and pass, put a move on them. Get a feel. Do not let them block you. Okay? You ready and good? Don't even shout it in. Help out middle, drop deep. Don't start off at 3. I want you to start off at like 4 or 5. That's all.
Hey, get back there. We're going to cover.
Ladies, 44 seconds left and we win this game. Get that guy ball back somehow, okay? Check roll and drop, okay? Make sure nobody comes out first, and then drop and help deep, okay?
The message for Los Angeles, stay deep. They are well aware of number 18's arm strength.
You can tell that LA's been there before. They've won championships with Coach Suinoa. Right now, they need some big defensive plays.
A 3rd and 7 for Dakota Hughes going down the field. Overshoots her receiver. That is Delaney Hall. And Hall could take it to the house. A 36-yard pick 6. What a turn of events.
Delaney Hall coming up with the play of her career. Playing center field, Dakota Hughes threw right into coverage. She not only steals the football, but she steals the show. She goes coast to coast. Watch this. Hughes has time. She forces it into coverage, overthrows the receiver. Delaney Hall right there. She doesn't go down. She cuts it back outside, takes it to the house. Play of the year for Delaney Hall.
And I'm not sure if Dakota Hughes was actually trying to get more under it, because it looked like Lauren Ziegler was behind the defense. She just did not have the arm to get it down the field.
That's a great point. I'm not sure if she overthrew the underneath receiver or underthrew Ziegler. I saw Ziegler wide open deep, but if that's the case, she just couldn't get enough oomph on the ball.
Now 33-26. This game has completely shifted toward Los Angeles. The extra point attempt does not look good despite the best efforts of Jane Caldwell. You could see the frustration on Mark White, the offensive coordinator. Believe it or not, this is still a 7-point ball game. We have seen some stranger things happen, especially in this building.
Especially from this quarterback. If there's anybody that can do it, she just had a big blunder right there getting picked off by Hall. But you're right, there's 29 seconds left. That's a lifetime for Dakota Hughes.
If that extra point was converted, this would have been a 2-score game. Now it remains simply a 7-point ball game. A quick score and an extra point, we're going to overtime.
They have one of the most dangerous receivers that's ever been in the LFL, Lauren Ziegler. Even when she's covered, you can throw with the football, and that's what they have to do now, get the ball to Ziegler.
Ziegler has the speed. Although the concern I would have, Dakota Hughes had a really tough time getting it down the field on that previous play. We'll see how she fares here, rolling left, throwing across her body, and that is complete to Lauren Ziegler. And they are trying to purposely hold Ziegler down. You could see the LA defense, Atlanta not having a timeout.
They got to spike the football right now. They got to get up on the ball.
Dakota Hughes begging Lauren Ziegler to get up. You could see Ziegler is banged up. And a very heads-up play by Hughes just to get to the line of scrimmage. Just over 6 seconds remaining. Even Hughes is hurt. What a gutsy player.
Hughes is limping, Ziegler's limping, but still with 6 seconds left in the game, this is the quarterback I want to have the football. Trust me, Lauren Ziegler will be in the game for this play. She will be on a stretcher if she has to be, but she will be in the game.
This will be the final play of the game. If you're wondering, should Atlanta score, they will give them, even if there's zeros on the clock, they will have an opportunity for the extra point and to tie this ball game. Here is the play of the game. 6.2 seconds remaining, plenty of time. And certainly Dakota Hughes has the arm to get it into the end zone. Hughes with a deep drop, looking to the end zone, lofting the ball. And that is deflected by Lily Granston. Rightfully so. Granston also having a career game as Los Angeles upsets Atlanta 33-26.
What a time of the game for Lauren Ziegler to get hurt. She couldn't go up after the ball. In fact, she couldn't even get to the end zone. Her knee was hurting that bad. She just threw the ball up. Hughes threw the ball up. Nobody there. And who else, like you said, Lily Granston coming up with a play of the game.
I'm not sure I agree with that call. You're only at the 16-yard line. Why are you throwing up a Hail Mary? It should have been a more strategic pass, a slant pass, something that gives you an opportunity legitimately at the end zone.
I agree, but their star player was hurt. Ziegler couldn't even get to the end zone. The quarterback, Hughes, did not know that. They throw a Hail Mary thinking Ziegler would get under it. She couldn't even make it to the 5-yard line.
Regardless now, it is a done ball game. Adrian Purnell just sobbing on the sideline. This has got to be a heartbreaking loss for this Atlanta team.
They wanted this game so bad to beat an elite team like LA, and they just couldn't do it tonight.
That'll do it for us for LFL football night. An impressive 33-26 win by Los Angeles behind the inspired play of Jane Caldwell, Naz Johnson, and this defense. That'll do it for us. For Bobby Huco, Desi Mitchison, this is Mitch Mortaza. We will see you next week on LFL Football Night.